right. So today's tier list, the podcast you're listening to right now takes place in the heart of Indiana. We are Hoosiers. We love our state. So we decided that we are going to do a tier list of Hoosier celebrities.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And hopefully one day we'll be able to put ourselves on this tier list.
We'll be the tier list below this tier list.
That's fine. Right? Hey, Nathan.
Second-rate
We'll need a
Hoosiers.
new
Remember,
category.
we have dozens of listeners now.
We do.
Maybe one day it'll become 50s of listeners.
There we go.
So we're going to go ahead and start today. I'm just going to go through this list a little bit, and we're just going to name it off and chat a little bit and kind of put them where we want. But the tiers that we have here, we're going to go from top to bottom. So the top is number 1 Hoosiers. Next down is that's a good person. In the middle will be I guess we'll accept them. Now the bottom half is oh, neat. And then at the very bottom, embarrassed to be a Hoosier.
Mm-hmm.
So the first guy I'm going to pull up here is going to be David Letterman.
I don't think Letterman needs much of an introduction.
He doesn't. He doesn't. Number 1.
The thing I put down in my notes was newsman, because he is one of the definitions of a newsman.
A newsman?
A newsman?
What are you talking about?
Do you know who David Letterman is?
Yeah.
Do you know who Timothy Chalamet is?
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. You guys know who Timothy Chalamet is?
I really don't.
I've been thinking about this whole damn time. I could see it in your face. Neither of you knew. I went on for 5 minutes talking about this Timothy Chalamet son of a bitch, and neither of you guys fucking had any clue who he was.
I have no idea who that guy was.
Oh my god. Well, he's in Lady Bird.
No, yeah.
I know the movies.
The guy that fucked the beach. He fucked the beach.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about that. So David Letterman did The Late Show on CBS for
Yeah, when I think of newsmen, I think of Anderson Cooper.
Or Tom Brokaw.
Tom Brokaw.
Yeah. Dan Rather. You said he's number 1.
He's number 1.
He's my number 1. Why is he, Nathan, you discussed with me, why do you have him so up high?
This isn't the main reason, but one of the main reasons is he, in my opinion, is one of those kings of not only late night comedy, but kings of comedy. He's influenced so many people. He's influenced... talk shows would not be the way that they are today without David Letterman. Some of my favorite people, like Conan O'Brien, would not have hit the success he had without David Letterman. David Letterman's the guy.
And
he's the guy.
So here's what puts it up for me is everything he just said, and then I'm going to add to it that David Letterman owns an Indy racing team, and there's nothing more Indianapolis than the Indy 500. And so that's what puts him to be, just to me, the number 1 Hoosier.
Yeah. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I would definitely put him top of my list.
Okay.
If I was going to rank 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. We will start with there. He's the number 1 Hoosier, and I love David Letterman. I do. So the next one that we have here is we're going to go with Jeff Gordon.
What?
Yep.
I've never been a NASCAR guy.
Isn't he the one that killed somebody?
Did he kill somebody?
Did he kill somebody?
I'm
pretty sure.
I feel like we're starting a rumor
on
our podcast that Jeff Gordon
I'm pretty sure
killed
he killed
a guy.
somebody.
I don't know.
I've never heard he murdered anyone. So
I'm pretty sure. I think he hit somebody with his car.
Okay, I found it. So it's not Jeff Gordon.
Okay, my apologies to Jeff Gordon. Sorry,
but you're not off. Another Hoosier NASCAR driver killed a man. Tony Stewart. From Columbus, Indiana.
Ooh, okay. Tony Stewart, if he was on our list,
he's going down on that list.
Below the floor.
Yes, he's below the floor.
He's below embarrassed to be a Hoosier.
Right, but Tony, you didn't make the list.
Okay, he should be embarrassed.
So we'll get back to Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. Honestly, I would have put him low, but because I feel like I
guess we'll accept him.
Yeah, accused him of murder. I think he should be a little higher.
So actually, I'm gonna put him down a little lower in my opinion. Because I did a little bit more research. It turns out he didn't move here until he was 5 or 6 months old, and he just grew up here. So he's not officially a Hoosier. So I don't know what you guys want to do with that.
I would say throw him maybe down there. Oh, neat.
He is kind of the face of NASCAR outside of Dale Earnhardt.
I think, I guess we'll accept them as perfect because we accepted him.
You know what?
As
I like
not
it.
a murderer.
I like as not a murderer. He did not kill. If you don't take anything from this whole podcast, it's Jeff Gordon did not kill anyone. All right. From one driver to the next, let's go with Adam Driver.
Ooh, good transition.
I love Adam Driver.
I love Adam Driver, too.
not only is he great as Kylo Ren, but if you haven't seen his fake undercover boss episodes from SNL,
I have. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
hysterical.
Oh yeah, he played. Oh,
Everything
my gosh,
he's
great.
in is great. Marriage Story, he's great.
Marriage Story was
Logan
good.
Lucky, he's great. I haven't seen a bad Adam Driver. He is the opposite of Timothy Chalamet, in my opinion.
Will you stop bringing him up? No one knows who he is. No one knows who he is. All right. Everyone at home Googled him when you said that.
See, if it were up to me, I'd put him at number 1 Hoosiers, but also looking at some of the other people on this list, we might have a stacked number 1, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys.
I'd throw him number 1.
At minimum, that's a good person. At minimum.
I want to go that's a good person only because of how young his career is. Who knows what could happen? Like this guy
I think he's going nowhere but up.
he may die from heroin.
Whoa.
So those are 2 options.
Why are we throwing rumors about people? This is just like shade tier list 101.
I heard Adam Driver is a heroin addict. Can you believe that? Can you believe that, guys?
Now I think we have to put him up because we're accusing him of heroin.
We are. Okay, number 1 Hoosier because
Yeah,
I accused him of dying of heroin. Okay. Someone who died young, James Dean. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
That's tough. That's
Great for his time, I think, yes. But I think modern day, obviously, he's farther down on the list.
I mean, yeah.
So this is... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I'd probably put him at that's a good person.
This is going to sound bad, and I think this happens with a lot of actors, musicians. They get put on a pedestal if they died at a young age. And so
absolutely.
some of
That's
their
fair.
work may not be looked on as fondly if they were still alive.
I can see that.
So, and in saying
yeah,
that, I've never seen a single one of his films.
I would venture to guess that
Wasn't
none
he
of
in
us
Rebel
have.
Without a Cause?
Yeah, Rebel Without a Cause is like
Yeah.
the most because he was in the car
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like is famous for killing people essentially. Yeah, there's like some car.
That's the movie?
No, not the movie, but there's a car that he bought, and other people have bought it as well, and it's like this cursed car that continues to.
Whoa.
Yes,
You're not
it's-
talking about Jeff Gordon again, are you?
No,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Jeff Gordon. No. This is a real thing. It's kind of it's one of those like just kind of weird urban myth, urban legend kind of
Because
things.
didn't he like drive off a cliff?
Yeah.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. It's like it's a
Wow.
weird,
Interesting story.
Where's
but
that car? Is like I feel like that should be in a museum or something.
It
I hope
probably
no
is.
one's driving it.
I mean, the museum burned down.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. Sorry. Hold on. So where are we going to put James Dean here? Are we going to accept him? Neat?
I would
Good person?
I would say yes, we'll accept them.
Yeah.
Accept him? Okay. Okay. I'm good with that. So next we're going to go, we'll kind of jump around here. Let's go a little bit more music related here. What do you guys think about Axl Rose?
Axl Rose is great. I mean,
Great.
he's at this point a cornerstone of like classic rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah, I'd agree 100%.
Because not only was he in Guns N' Roses, but he did a stint for AC/DC.
No, really?
Look it up.
I believe you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there was I think it was like 2014 when one of the people got sick and they thought about canceling the tour, and he stepped in for
Wow.
that for at least a little bit of that tour. And
What a
played
good
for
guy.
AC/DC.
Was he taking a break from Chinese democracy, I guess?
Who knows? Man?
right. But yeah, I mean, I'm not. That's a good. Is
That's
he
a good person.
Is that a
I
good
would say
person?
that's a
Like
good person.
I mean, in all reality, Guns N' Roses is one of those like staple bands from that era. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let's go a little bit softer on the rock list. Let's go with John Mellencamp.
See, I like John Mellencamp.
He's a neat. He's very what's the right word?
Boring.
I mean,
Yes.
Jack and Diane, Hurt So Good.
He's
Okay.
very
Great
influential,
songs.
and
Whoa.
and I will say, if you think of Hoosiers, he is probably one of the people that
Yes.
most people outside of Indiana think of the most. That being said, he's at the bottom of the list.
Not only that, for me, he also used to be called Johnny Cougar.
Oh, John Cougar
He was
Mellencamp.
John Cougar Mellencamp. Yeah.
That is a pretty badass name.
Right?
As
But,
far
like-
as names go, that's pretty great.
But there's two people in the 80s that are similar, and it's him and Bruce Springsteen, and everyone takes Springsteen over Mellencamp,
Well,
right?
yeah, I would definitely take Springsteen over
boss.
Mellencamp.
Yeah, he's the boss. So I'm cool with neat.
I'm good with that as well.
I will concede.
Yes, victory is ours. All right, we're gonna go. You know what? Let's be a little bit more studious here. Kurt Vonnegut.
So, for me, I did not offhand I'm not great with names. Know who Kurt
Shocker.
Vonnegut was, right?
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
Kurt
who-
Vonnegut.
Just,
Who
yeah,
people I don't know.
not naming any examples here, but
So, for those of you that don't know, if you go down on Mass Ave, there is a giant mural of him on one of the side of the walls there. So I read The Slaughterhouse-Five twice because the first time I finished it, and I was like, I thought this was supposed to be good and like life-changing. So I reread it because maybe it was my fault. It wasn't. It was not my fault. So I put him at, neat, but I'll let you guys decide.
yeah, that's fair. I feel bad.
Because I
A
wouldn't say
little bit.
embarrassed to be
He's not
a
embarrassed.
Hoosier,
Yeah. No.
but neat is where I would throw him.
Oh, neat.
Oh, neat.
He's a Hoosier. Oh, neat.
Oh, neat.
So next on the list is going to be John Wooden. So I know this is one that I love talking to Charlie about anything sports because he is just not a clue.
It all goes right over my head. The only thing I found when I looked him up that impressed me was he's got a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay.
What did you learn about him?
Yeah. Actually, I'm curious.
I didn't.
Oh,
I looked it up and I was like, already these bullet points that I can talk about.
Wikipedia page, read the one line about the presidency.
Right.
You're like, I got it. I got
Yeah,
it.
Because he's not somebody I know, nor do I care about sports, as all of us know. So he's never going to be high on my list. There's not going to be something that he does that's going to make him top of my list. But the fact that he's a good enough person or an interesting enough person that he's got the Presidential Medal of Freedom puts
That's
him a little
pretty
higher
cool.
for me.
Yeah. See, this is tough.
So he has the most national championships in college basketball history as a coach.
pretty impressive.
Including, I think it was 12 in a row, maybe 11. Sorry, you guys can correct me on Twitter later. Is either 11 or 12 championships straight in a row. And he coached some of the greatest of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then he created also what's called the Pyramid of Success. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but essentially he just builds building blocks on how to become a great, moral, outstanding human being, not in basketball, but just in life in general. And he's pretty much, if you get the idea of basketball, which is a big thing for Indiana Hoosiers, he's like the icon of it all when it comes to just on the coaching tree, I would say.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing is he did that at UCLA and not IU. There you go.
Yeah, for that reason alone, I'd bump him to that's a good person.
Okay.
I will defer judgment to you guys.
But see,
oh, yeah, go ahead.
nah, that's perfect.
You good?
I think that's okay. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, that's a good person.
That's good.
Next, we're gonna go with two people. I'm gonna do them back to back, and we'll do them together. That we're not gonna have a whole lot to say about, but it's the two presidents from Indiana, William Henry Harrison and Benjamin Harrison, our 9th and 23rd, respectfully.
I mean, it's cool, but
I mean, the coolest thing about William Henry Harrison was that he was the first one to die in office.
Oh yeah, he was only in office for like
31 days.
Yeah, it was a very, very short time.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but that's kind of embarrassing.
That is kind of embarrassing. Yeah. And Benjamin Harrison, do you want to know what he accomplished as president?
What's that?
I don't know. so what are we talking about here?
I would put him embarrassed.
No, that's right.
I
Take that,
mean-
presidents.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? All right, moving them here. And gone from embarrassment to amazingness, let's go ahead and talk about Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear
Greg Kinnear.
has a great career.
Whoa. Where are you going with this?
Yeah, he's the pride of Logan.
I'm going back to
Did
I
he
did
die?
not know who he was because I'm not good with faces and names.
The pride of Logan Sport.
We are
That's what they call him.
very, very pro Greg Kinnear podcast.
I absolutely love Greg Kinnear.
Stuck on You, Little Miss
Stuck
Sunshine.
on You, Little Miss
Ah.
Sunshine, absolutely. The other one, Ghost Town,
Oh.
is a sleeper hit for him because a lot of people didn't see it,
Sleeper hit.
but I loved it.
I'm a big Greg Kinnear fan
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, I
I
love
think he's
him.
great in most things that he's in.
That being said,
He's not what I think of when I think Hoosier.
Exactly.
that and I love him to death, but personally, as an actor, I don't think he's on the same tier as Adam Driver.
No, he's not at
So-
all. No.
I'm thinking that's a good person.
I would absolutely say that's a good person.
Perfect.
Good
Easy.
with that one. All right, and then we're going to move on to another rock star, David Lee Roth.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot other than David Lee Roth is a rock star.
Yeah, I mean, there's
pretty
Van
great.
Halen
Yeah.
or Van Hagar. Pretty much just, it's like Metallica Black Album, pre or post. What do you like?
I think he's pretty great.
You think he's pretty great?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in terms of a musician, but in terms of this tier list,
Exactly.
I'd say I guess we'll accept him.
Holding him up against these other people,
Yeah.
is he as great as his musician quality puts him?
I will say he's a better showman than he is singer. Some of the acrobatic things he did on that stage, I think, outshines his actual vocal abilities.
Absolutely.
But that's just me.
His showmanship. Right?
Yeah, his showmanship was great.
Yeah.
We can't all be Freddie Mercury. We can't.
As much as we try.
Yeah. So where are we going to put him at?
I would go, that's a good person.
I'm cool with that as well.
You good with that? David, you made it up there. Good for you, sir. All right. So this next person here is one that I'm going to fight tooth and nail for, and it's Steve McQueen.
4 or against?
Oh, 4.
Why?
He's another one of those that I just don't know anything about.
I mean, he's great, but
He's like the original, to me, he's like the original Dreamboat action star.
Okay, yeah, actually, he's in Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet.
That's my dream car right there. You
There
drove
you
around
go.
my dream car.
Oh, nice. So you guys are already, you're like Eskimo brothers of dream cars.
All right. I've done a full 360 because I liked him, and
now
I
you love
thought
him.
I did it, and then I really liked
Yeah,
him.
you liked him again.
Again, deferring my judgment on a few of these last ones.
That's fine. I'm either number one Hoosier or that's a good person.
Let's go number 1.
You're number
Really?
one?
You're going
Fuck
number
it.
1?
Yeah! I love it.
But at least he's behind Adam Driver.
So next guy here, this is going to be, I think, like iffy on some people, and it's just because of what things happen later in life, but we'll see where you guys want to go. Michael Jackson.
He's the king of pop.
I mean, his music is great, but him as a person
I will think about that because it is a list about them being a Hoosier, not about...
If he's from, Nevada, okay, cool, that's their problem. His music's great. But as a Hoosier, we stand up for our values here.
We do.
That's very true.
We have Orville Redenbacher, and we have Korn, and we have basketball.
We left a lot of people off this list.
There's a lot of people on this list.
Speaking of, we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
But anyway, so where are we sitting Michael Jackson?
And I mean, there's many Jacksons we could have put, but he's the most iconic.
It's true.
Mostly LaToya is who I was thinking of.
LaToya is the one you were going with?
That's the one.
To make you feel better, I'll put O Neat. I'll bump him up to O Neat.
I will concede to O Neat.
I'm good with Oni because his music is great, but man, what happened was
that's
buddy.
Oh boy.
All right.
It feels wrong.
We're gonna go next.
It really does.
We're going to the Big O.
Seeing him in between Kurt Vonnegut
and John Mellencamp. We're gonna go on to the Big O here. Big Oscar Robertson.
See, I thought Larry Legend was going to be on this list.
I thought he was too. I don't know what happened.
Where is
to be
he?
honest with you. I don't know where he went. Anyway, so Oscar Robertson. True fact, he's like one of the few guys that averaged a triple-double through his entire NBA career. There is a street downtown named after him as well. So, in all reality, it's one of like the leading black basketball players in the NBA, one of the first ones at the time, and just kind of dominated the game. So,
I would say at least that's a good person.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
If Larry is top tier,
Oscar
he
number
would
2,
be just like
Big O number 2,
right below him.
Okay.
I'll probably Photoshop in a little picture of Larry with number 1 there.
Get like
it feels
get the most obscure
insulting.
picture of
Yeah,
me.
right.
Just the ugliest porn stash. I want porn stash Larry.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want. So last but not least here, Brendan Fraser.
Oh boy, here we go. Number 1. Right, guys?
What?
Right?
I wouldn't go number 1.
Okay, so for those listening, he originally was not included on this list.
He was not.
And I fought hard to get him on. He deserves to be top spot. Sitting right up there.
I mean, he's got great movies. He's got the Mummy series before it got stupid. He's got George of the Jungle, Bedazzled. He was also in Scrubs, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, Bedazzled. I forgot about that one.
Such a good one.
Oh, that's such a good movie. Blast from the Past, Encino Man.
Ooh, Encino Man. I forgot about that
Oh
one.
my god! And in Scrubs, what he's talking about is he plays the brother of Jordan, which is Dr. Cox's ex-wife, and it's the greatest 2-episode character of the whole series.
Oh my gosh!
Like cry every time at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
See, you guys are about anti-Brandon Fraser, and I just brought him up, and you guys went on talking about
I was
all this
never
great
anti-Brendan
movies.
Fraser.
I was anti-Brandon Fraser, and at the end of this, I love Brendan Fraser.
He was the anti-Brendan Fraser.
I was.
I was all
Yes.
on the Brendan
I
Fraser
just keep
bandwagon.
naming things.
He's great.
Crash. He's in Crash.
Crash.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
People
There's so
forget
many
about
people in
Crash.
We've convinced him.
I almost want to put him at number 1 Hoosier now. Like I've become so smitten with Brendan Fraser through all of this.
He's just so likable.
He is.
Like I said, I have no problem going number 1 Hoosier. If it was just my list, I'd probably put him as that's a good person.
We like. I mean, you know where I stand.
I know
was
where you
gonna say,
stand. I
can we,
know where
like,
you stand.
Put him somewhere in between those two.
We can put him at the low end of the number 1.
Yeah, I can put him at the end of number 1, and I'm not mad. Brendan Fraser, you stole my heart today. I don't know how you did that. I have no idea how you did that. We went right by
It came out of nowhere.
It really did.
Thank you guys so very much for watching. This was actually a segment from our podcast, 3 Guys Walk Into a Bar. You can find us on both iTunes and Spotify. But please, while you're here, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be having videos every few days, including cocktail recipes, tier lists, and a few other bonus videos. Links are in the description for everything I just mentioned. I hope you enjoyed, and bar's closed.